Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Right, guys, we should be live. Just a little bit of boxing talk on a Thursday evening. Why not? Only one fight really this weekend, I believe, right? Virgil Ortiz versus Sergey Bojack, which is a good fight at 154. I think it's a fight Virgil wins, but I think it's a fight in which he's probably going to get tested to a degree. I think he's going to have some sticky moments in this fight. Bojack's a good fighter, strong, powerful, keeps on coming, good gas tank. Yeah, his defense isn't the best, but he'll ask questions of you. There's also Bernardo Lopez. He's defending his title, I believe, right? Pretty certain he's fighting this weekend as well. I forget who he's fighting, though. You guys are going to have to remind me on that one. Let me double check now. I know he's fighting this weekend, Bernardo, and it's a pretty good fight, I believe. 1 second, let me have a look. I need to see this myself. Okay, there we go. Luis Alberto Lopez versus Angelo Leo. That's a good fight. That is for the IBF featherweight title. So we got a couple of good fights this weekend. What's up, man? How you doing, bro? Takera, how you doing? Reese Cooper, what's up? XMB45, how you doing? Let me know if I'm sounding okay, by the way. I should be sounding okay. You might get a bit of background noise because the windows are open. But it is what it is. The perils of living on a high street. It is what it is. But yeah, I mean, Virgil Ortiz this weekend is the fight I'm looking forward to most. I think it's going to tell us a lot where Virgil is at in his career. Skill for skill, I think he's got a lot more ability than Sergey Bojack, to be honest. But Virgil's been out of a ring. I know he's had 2 fights this year, but he's had 2 fights at 154 against guys who are blown up welterweights. And in Thomas Delorme's case, a blown up super lightweight. So those fights didn't really prove anything, in my opinion, whether he's over this illness, whether it's taken something out of him. The thing about Bojack is he's the type of fighter to make you work hard, to really ask questions. So if Virgil Ortiz has any lingering effect from this illness, then this could be interesting. It really could. Yeah, we saw that Leather Rebel. We saw that, yeah. Turkey Al-Sheikh he's basically insinuating that Canelo is looking for easy fights in a nutshell. That's what he's saying. And this isn't a guy who can't afford to pay for certain fights, but, you know, Canelo seems to be trying to take advantage. And hence why he's fighting Edgar Berlanga. It's an easy opponent. It's a poor fight. Edgar Berlanga isn't rated by anybody. Even Puerto Rico don't rate Edgar Berlanga. Even Puerto Rico don't rate Edgar Berlanga. So that says it all, really. Yeah, I hope Virgil wins, as it's better for 154. But I can't call it. He's had two catchweight fights at 156 against 2 welterweights with 1 round each. Yeah. And then you go a step further. The last time he's been made to work in a fight truly was the Kavalauskas fight. And that was the beginning of 2022, I believe. So Virgil hasn't had a serious fight in over 2 years. There's been spells of inactivity. He's not had rounds. He's not used to fighting full-blown super welterweights. That is one thing Sergey Bojack is. So again, I could see this being similar to the Kavalauskas fight in a few ways. You know, getting tagged up, maybe getting slightly hurt here and there. Thing is, though, Virgil is a lot more talented. He's a lot more technically correct. Both guys are aggressive fighters who like to come forward, who like to put it on their opponents. The difference is I feel that Virgil incorporates a lot more boxing to that approach. He's got a better guard. He's got a better center of gravity. He's got a much better jab. He throws straight punches better, and he puts his shots together better. Bojack's like a machine. He'll come forward, but he'll throw these looping shots. He'll keep on throwing. But he's very open if you exchange with him. And that's where I favor Virgil with the better punch technique, the more varied punch technique. I think in the exchanges, as long as Virgil's not getting hurt, he should get the better of Boachuk. Christ is King, salute. Big up to Sven Otke. Big up to yourself, man. You got no fans? Thoughts on Wahhabism? What the fuck is that? Isn't that like extremism, right? So fuck it. Who do you think Canelo will fight in Japan? I bet he'll fight Inoue because he'll say he's earned it. He's pound for pound. Yeah, I know, right? I know. There's nobody to fight in Japan for Canelo Alvarez, right? Murata's retired. There's nobody else. Is Canelo talking about fighting in Japan? Who's there to fight? Who's there to fight in Japan for Canelo? The crazy thing is, man, I see so much damage control for Canelo in regards to the Berlanga fight. It's getting silly at this point, isn't it? We know who's who in the YouTube boxing community. You know, certain guys are bought and paid for, brown envelopes. It's as simple as that. It's either they're bought and paid for, or they are just angling for a job. It's one of the two. It's probably more likely the latter, to be honest. They're probably more likely to be like trying to get a job. Hence why they are, you know, they pull so much damage control for certain sides. And you notice that these guys, and I'm not talking about the LDBC, we know why they do what they do. I'm not talking about LDBC channels. I'm talking about channels who will ride with a certain promoter and it's not transparent at all. It's almost like they're an unofficial propaganda piece for certain promoters. And listen, they're doing that for one of two reasons in my mind. They're either getting paid or they're trying to get a job with that promotional company or that TV network. It's one of the two. I'd say it's more likely to be the latter, like I said. I'd say it's more likely to be the latter. But, you know, a lot of these guys in this industry are whores and very... Listen, if you're willing to sell out for something for as minute as boxing, if you can't tell the truth about boxing, then you have no hope in real life. You know, to speak truth to power and to actually say things that matter. You know, all of these guys are very easily compromised in my... Well, I'm not going to say all. Most are very easily compromised. I see what I see. I see the patterns. And that is what it is, you know? That is what it is. Canelo versus Murata. Bro, fuck that. Evening, JD. How's it going, man? Salute. Yeah, the riots have stopped now, Noah. But the working class have been ignored for generations. I come from a working class background. I will never throw the working class under the bus. That's how I'll answer it. There you go. Top 5 weight classes in boxing. Imagine selling out your own people, by the way. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. Top 5 weight classes in boxing. Right now? Oh, Christ. There's a lot of dead divisions right now, you know. I think 140 could be shaping up to be somewhat interesting. Lightweight is interesting. In terms of entertaining fights, it may not be the highest in depth, but featherweight could be very interesting. So you've got great fights to be made between Luis Alberto Lopez, Nick Ball, Brandon Figueroa, Rafael Espinoza, Ray Vargas. Featherweight's a really interesting division. So yeah, I would say featherweight, 140, 135, super welterweight. After that, I'm struggling. I'm not going to lie. After that, I'm struggling. Canelo versus Berlanga, so shit. I would prefer Canelo versus 154 Bud. Not even a joke. It's that bad. I agree. Which win was better at the time? Joyce's win over Dubois, whose best win was what, Gorman, or Bacole versus Jarrett, whose best win is what, Martin? I'll still say Joyce's win over Dubois, personally. I'd still say Joyce's win over Dubois. Canelo should boil himself down to 147 and fight Inoue. Bro, that'd be crazy. What's up, Kirsten? What's up? Canelo following the Pacquiao and Floyd route? Yeah. Bro, hopefully, listen, hopefully he takes another serious fight in his career. I've kind of lost hope at this point because, again, this is what happens when fight fans don't hold these fighters to account at the end of the day. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Maybe Berlanga goes in there and surprises me and does better than I think, but I think he's a blank canvas for Canelo to style on, quite frankly. I think he's a blank canvas for Canelo to style on. Thoughts on Joshua Zertsky? I've not really seen him play You've Got No Fans, to be honest with you. I'm not going to sit here and say he's the next coming of R9, despite me being a United fan. Listen, I hope he works out. I hope he does well. But ultimately, I don't know. I'm not one of these football fans who hype a player up just because they've signed. I don't know enough about him. So my judgment is very much down the middle. I don't know. I just don't know. Drunk Irish. Berlanga can box and has power. He might do better than people think. Is that a troll comment? Is that a sarcastic comment? Because I've never seen Berlanga box. I'm not going to lie. I've seen him fight. I've never seen him box. I don't think he's got much of a jab to speak of. I don't think there's any variety to his game. He just clubs you away and uses his size. He's got a bit of power. But I don't see any variety in his work. I don't see much of a jab. I don't see much defense. I don't see a great deal of speed. He's got size and a bit of power, and that's really it. I mean, Angulo was a statue, though, man. He was stiff as a preacher's dick. Do you know what I mean? Bro, that's a great scrap. Now, Turki Al-Sheikh is trying to make that fight. Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda. I want that fight. That's a great fight. I mean, Berlanga arguably lost to Martin Coceres, the Argentinian fella. You know what I'm saying? He arguably lost to Coceres, who is a, gatekeeper, would you say? He went life and death, by the way, with Steve Rolls. A Steve Rolls who was nearing 40. The same Steve Rolls who Golovkin was crucified for fighting years ago. And Berlanga struggled with a far worse version of Steve Rolls. And yet now this guy is eligible for a Canelo fight? Yeah, he may have improved slightly, Ralph. He may have improved, but he was so far behind, man. He's not going to be ready. I don't think he's going to have much of a choice if Turkey gets involved, Ralph. I don't think he's going to have much of a choice. Angulo could have beat Berlanga. Wilder or Chisora? Right now, that's a good fight. I'd watch it, you know. I'd certainly watch it. Right now, I might even favour Chisora, you know. Bro, even Puerto Ricans are not getting behind Edgar Berlanga. Even Puerto Ricans aren't. And Puerto Ricans get behind their fighters, you know. Puerto Ricans don't seem to be getting behind this guy. What's up, Nordic? How you doing, bro? Wilder versus Joyce would be super fun right now, honestly, considering how both guys have looked, how flawed they've looked in recent fights. That would be a fun fight. That's a proper loser leaves town fight. I'd watch it. Great fight. Zhang versus Bakole. Bakole has a lack of defense. Early on, he is going to be at risk of getting knocked out in that fight, to be honest with you, because Bakole is there to be hit. He seems to have a decent chin, but he's there to be hit. And he's not been hit as hard as he's going to get hit by Zhili Zhang. I'd favour Zhang by knockout early because of a style matchup. However, if Bakole gets through the first few rounds, Zhang might fade because Bakole has a better work rate. He seems to maintain that power late through fights and he can be relentless. So if Zhang doesn't stop Bakole early, within like the first 4 or 5, then Zhang could really struggle. And Ben Bakole has a good chance. That's a great fight, though. Zhang versus Bakole, make it happen. Another good fight I'd like to see would be Bakole versus Ajit Kabayel. I think that would be a great fight. What happened to your BBC license video? Oh, you mean Nordic? Sounds like something Nordic would make. Yeah, bro, exactly. I think waffles are great. Yeah. That goes to show the state of YouTube boxing right now. Like they're literally, people are literally willing to hoe themselves out for a few quid from a network. That's what it is. That's what it is. People are begging for jobs out here. I mean, have like the self-respect. And if you want a job in media, man, go through the traditional route. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I've not seen. Yeah, oh yeah. So Erislandy Lara's fighting Danny Garcia at middleweight for a middleweight title. 41-year-old Erislandy Lara versus Danny Garcia for the WBA middleweight title. Lara's going to win. It'd be funny just to see Danny Garcia win, but I think Lara's going to style on him, to be honest. I think Lara's too long, still too good now. Stylistically, a bad matchup for Danny Garcia. Plus, he's bigger. I don't think Danny's got a chance unless like Lara is completely shot overnight. Then I think Danny wins. Lara's actually looked quite good in recent fights, from what I've seen, to be honest. He seems to have a new lease of life at middleweight. People saying Bakole is now top 6 after beating Anderson, when his other best win is Takam, is surely going overboard. I agree. Was Joyce top 6 after his best wins were Jennings and Dubois? That's a good point, Copend. I certainly wouldn't rank him that high. If you want Bakole at number 10, maybe number 9, fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, no more than that. I think some people are going overboard. Yeah, boxing politics are ruining boxing for the fans, yeah. Too many mega fights were missed because difference in paperwork. UFC is doing it right, and it pains me as a boxing fan. I agree. Yeah, I've liked the Saudi involvement so far in boxing. They're at least trying to get things to happen. Yeah, this is another thing. So when I call people shills or sellouts, maybe they're not, but I feel like I've got a right to say it. Because I could prove the amount of emails I've had over the last 3 years with my other channel. And if I was sponsor hungry and I took every single one and I looked for sponsors, I'd probably made 30, 40, maybe it'd have been double. I'd say conservatively 20 grand, conservatively. Very conservatively 20 grand in that time, another 20 grand, which is a lot to me. You know, I don't come from money, but I still turned that shit down. I've done 2 sponsors with fucking VPN companies. So when people talk about shills and shit, I don't know, I feel I can talk about it. I wouldn't do it for a product I don't like, let alone for a narrative that I don't like. No, he's Ring IQ's production value is very good. Very good. My issue with Ring IQ, personally, I just think the guy is, like you say, super soy. Basically. Let's just be honest about it. Yeah, can you imagine? Yeah, before we talk about this brutal, heartbreaking cartel hit, I'd like to take the time to talk about Hume, the replacement for sugary drinks. Can you imagine? Yeah, Lara's going to win. Lara Garcia's at a 157-pound catch weight. Okay. I guess that gives Danny a little more of a chance. You know? Zhang has a puncher's chance against Fury, not much else. Yeah, early on he'll be dangerous again, but like Tyson Fury's gas tank against Usyk may have been questionable, but Usyk makes you work very hard. Zhang doesn't. That's one thing Zhang doesn't do. He makes you work hard early on through mental pressure, but physically he doesn't really make you work hard. If Fury gets through like the first 4 or 5 rounds, I think he could then put it on. He could put it on Zhang a bit, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think the yard fight's going to happen, Cal. Unfortunately, I don't think the yard fight's going to happen with Buatsi. Yard's in legal trouble right now with what's his face? With Frank Warren. Oh, Jarrett Hurd versus Jason Rosario. Both guys are shot to bits, but I think Jarrett Hurd wins. Rosario takes so many fucking dives, man. He hits the canvas very quick. Yeah, and VPN services, they are like genuinely super cheap for the most part. They are actually pretty good. You can change your geolocation. You can watch different content in content-locked regions, things like that. Plus, it's good for cybersecurity. And it kind of works with what I'm doing because, you know, sometimes I go on the darker part of the internet, put it that way. So, yeah, it kind of works with what I'm doing. And it's a good product overall, I guess. It's good you're talking about the state of a YTBC. It's sad because it's gone from enthusiasts to grifters in this community. Yeah, 100%, Matt. I think that's natural, though, with most communities. When it becomes of a certain size, I think the grifters will then naturally try to get involved. You know, I think that's just the way things go. Because for YTBC, it's not like a massive niche, but it's big enough. Promoters listen to what channels say and things like that. So, yeah, they listen. They definitely listen. They definitely listen, Matt, 100%. So yeah, I mean, there's a motive to try to appeal to the power brokers in boxing. There's definitely a motive, and I see it all the time. I see it all the time. But thank you, Matt, man, much appreciated. Yeah, really made me think in a previous video when you touched on how that recently boxers taken out of their promotional comfort zone, i.e. Fury, Crawford, seems to have underperformed. Yeah, it's weird, right? Wilder, Jared Anderson. It's strange. Very strange. Maybe just a coincidence. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Lara versus Adames is a much better fight. He does, Mr. Vanilla, but I'm a person who judges people off intent. And Ring IQ's correct takes, which he does have, are very often with the intent to score points on the other side. Kind of thing. Intent matters. What's in your heart matters. You know, you could say the right thing, you could even do the right thing, but the intent is what matters. But you're right, yeah. Does Berlanga have a puncher's chance? Probably not, to be honest. Is it going to be a real fight? Oh, the Algerian beats Jared Anderson. Yeah, that's the thing, though. Yeah, Usyk made Fury work very hard, and he went to the body, like you said. If Fury were to fight Zhili Zhang, Zhang is going to be dangerous, like I said early on. Even first half of like the fight, but second half, Fury will take over. Yeah, Frank Warren, man, in the courtroom. Listen, I've been doing this for many, many years. I have my own opinions. Drunk Irishman. I have my own opinions. Again, like I said, I've turned down tens of thousands on here, on my other channel, because of products I don't like. You think I would just parrot what somebody else says just because? For what? Makes no sense. That picture's triggering my PTSD. What other? I don't even know what other avatars we have, to be honest. I'll have a look in a minute. Yeah, that's a tough fight against Angelo Leo, Nathan. That's a banana skin fight. I wouldn't be shocked if Leo pulled off the upset. He's not a bad fighter. He gave Fulton a really hard fight when they fought. Sorry, I'm going to pull a Wings of Redemption. I'm going to open me a Pepsi. My Pepsi. I don't usually drink Pepsi, but I bought one for lunch at work and I never drunk it. That is fucking sweet. That's the first time I've had a Pepsi in ages, man. That is sweet as fuck. Christ. My boss, I mean, I guess you mean my manager. Yeah, he's okay. Could be worse. Hurd was a good fighter for a while, but his style was always a recipe for disaster long term. Yeah, and he relied heavily on size. I mean, listen, man. Listen, Nordic. I understand the motive for it. It's to get money. And don't get me wrong, man. I'd love a lot more zeros in my bank account. I really would. Because again, I don't come from money. I've never really known what it's like to have money. I've got a bit of money now because of what I've done, but it is what it is. It's only in my. I haven't done anything with it, but I'm just kind of saving for the sake of it. But yeah. Thoughts on Canelo saying James Kirkland was the hardest puncher he ever faced. That's interesting. Kirkland was always very naturally heavy-handed. He wasn't the quickest or anything like that, but he was definitely heavy-handed. Maybe it's true. I don't know. It does call to question, though, the authenticity of like the Kovalev fight. You know, we're conspiracy theorists for doubting that fight. Apparently, James Kirkland is a bigger puncher than Sergey Kovalev. To be fair, I think Kirkland probably did hit Canelo harder because Kovalev barely threw a power punch in that fight. In my last video I made, I explicitly stated in the first few minutes that I'd been trolling and winding people up, and it still made them seethe. It's amazing how easy fanboys are to wind up. Yeah. Maybe that's the route you should go down, Nordic. Honestly, just be like a subtle troll. Don't really watch many boxing channels nowadays. The only American channel that I watch is Boxing Wave. He's pretty good. Yeah, Boxing Wave seems pretty genuine, to be honest. I don't really drink either, but I guess when I do have a fizzy drink, it's usually Coke. Yeah, exactly, Nordic. And again, I look at it in this way. If you can't just be honest about boxing, then there's no hope for you in real life. That's how I see it. I kind of work in finance, Paul, kind of. Yeah, I usually go for Coke, G-Man, but I hadn't had a Pepsi in a long time, and I bought one for work, but I didn't drink it, and I'm drinking it now, and it's sweet as fuck. Kirkland had the weakest chin I've ever seen from a fighter with a winning record. Yeah, his chin was poor. He had power. He was a tough guy, but his chin was so bad, and he had no defense. I'm telling you now, it tastes a lot sweeter than Coke. I don't usually drink it. It's all right, but it's a little bit too sweet for my liking. And apparently the American version is like fucking 5 times sweeter. Like, fuck that. Japanese tourist stopped him in the first round. Yeah, I forget who it was. Who was the Japanese guy who stopped James Kirkland? Was it the guy who Golovkin knocked out? Wasn't it the guy who Golovkin knocked out? Ishida. Andre Ward versus Kovalev 3. Maybe Ward can finally beat him for real. Yeah, I've heard this rumours about Ward coming back. Who's he going to fight, though? No Southerners in the US choose Pepsi over Coke. Yeah, I agree. Coke is better. I agree. Coke is better. Who should Jared Anderson fight next? I wouldn't mind seeing him in there with Hunter. Hunter would make sense because Hunter's not been looking as good recently. Hunter could make sense. Hunter, it's funny, you mentioned Michael Hunter. Prime Michael Hunter was basically what Jared Anderson was trying to be. Prime Michael Hunter was a very good fighter, but he's not in his prime anymore, Hunter. So maybe that's a good fight for Anderson. Maybe Hunter is a good fight for Anderson. Failing that, I mean, you could put Anderson in there with a guy like a Jermaine Franklin, an Otto Wallin. Maybe you could dig up a guy like Chris Arreola. I don't know. F.A. Ajagba. You know, F.A.'s a big puncher, and if he lands on Anderson, he could knock him out. But he's not as relentless as Bakole. Like, maybe Anderson can evade the single shot of Ajagba and get a points win. Yeah, of course. Yeah, De La Hoya was a very good fighter in his prime. Excellent jab, good hook, good power. Yeah, the title of the video was Crawford's a C-level fighter, was a special kind of bait, like throwing a lit match onto a bunch of dynamite, laugh out loud. What did you guys think of that fight, by the way, the Crawford-Madrimov fight? I actually enjoyed it. I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed it. I felt it was a competitive fight. I felt Crawford won. But I felt it was an interesting fight watching it live. I felt it was an interesting fight. And it looked like a real fight. That's one thing about these Saudi fights. Yeah, there's been a couple of bad decisions, like Jarrell Miller versus Andy Ruiz, but the fights all look real. They all look like both combatants are at their best or near their best, and they're not like handicapped in any way. The bad judging is always going to happen, but the fights themselves look pretty real, in my opinion. Maybe some people are going to say Fury and Ngannou the exception. Depends on your opinion on that fight. Okay, it was Ashida. What's up, Ganja? How you doing, by the way? Anderson needs a proper rebuilding and should be sent to undercards in Spain or somewhere away from the limelight. Well, send him to Mexico on a couple of club shows. No, they definitely don't taste the same. Pepsi's a lot sweeter. But yeah, it was Ashida. Ashida went up, by the way, and won a heavyweight title. Well, he won the Japanese heavyweight title, Ashida. What's up, Sweet G97? Hopefully you're well, my man. How's things still buzzing for this fight this weekend? I've got a feeling Ortiz is going to catch him early, much quicker. So he's so much quicker, I agree. Well, I agree he's so much quicker. Again, they're two very aggressive fighters. Both guys like to come forwards and really apply that pressure and throw a lot of punches. But like I said earlier, Virgil Ortiz does it with a lot. He implements a lot more boxing into that aggressive approach. Ortiz has better balance. He maintains a better shape. He covers himself up better. He's got more variety in his work. He's better at throwing straight punches, far superior jab. Boazic's jab is pretty... It's not that it's a bad jab, but he doesn't use it enough. And in the exchanges, it favors Ortiz drastically because Boazic throws a lot of wide punches, whereas Ortiz can fire in those short, straight punches as well. In the exchanges, I think it favors Ortiz in a big way. The only issue is if this fight goes a few rounds and it starts to get hard, how does that affect Ortiz considering the illness and the lack of hard fights in recent times? You know, it's a great fight though, but I'm going Ortiz. Juan Manuel Marquez had a bad shin. He went down in every one of his fights, it felt like, but he always came back and won the vast majority of them, yeah. He had insane... I don't think he had a bad shin, but one thing he had was insane recovery. So yeah, that Fujimoto guy, I think Ishida beat that Fujimoto guy who Dubois beat. Yeah, that's the guy I think Ishida beat. I think you may be right, G-Man. I don't like Dr. Pepper. Do you remember the rumors when you? I don't know whether you guys heard this rumor when you was a kid, but when we was kids, there was a rumor that Dr. Pepper killed your sperm. Basically, there was a rumor that it killed your sperm. So I never drank it as a kid. I never grew up. I never grew up on Dr. Pepper. It's probably not wrong considering what they put in these drinks. Let's be honest. It was something like that. There was a rumor like that. I swear, it was some weird rumor about Dr. Pepper. Yeah, the thing with these Saudis is that they don't really seem to do rehabilitation fights. So Anderson could well get thrown back into the deep end. Yeah. I like that about the Saudis, man. I really do. I really do. Listen, man, maybe this Saudi project falls and fails and who knows. But what I've seen so far, I think the positives far outweigh the negatives. I really do. Close fight. It was a good tactical affair. I agree. That's how I saw it, Apology. Very technical, tactical fight. Yeah, I liked the fight. Still no mention from the mainstream media about Crawford's gloves, though. It's weird, bro. See, the last time this happened, I caught it, obviously. But this time it happened, I never realized it happened until like 2 days after the fight. I think it was Monday when I first found out about it. I never knew until 2 days later because I wasn't like paying like crazy attention to the build-up. So I never knew. Yeah, I enjoyed Crawford Madrimov. It was a chess battle that was pretty even, and then Crawford pulled through with the experience in the final two. Yeah, that's how I kind of saw it, to be honest. I watched the Ruiz-Miller fight twice. Had Miller winning, but only by a couple of rounds. I thought it was pretty close. I had an 8-4 Miller. But I've only seen it once. I think I gave like the first 3 to Ruiz. And maybe the 10th. Something like that. Yeah, very competitive fight. I had Bud winning. I watched it again yesterday. Still had Bud winning, but I can see a case for a draw, to be honest. If you give every close round to Madrimov, yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Lennox would have been a problem in any era, 100%. So would most heavyweight champions. I'll take that back. So would most notable heavyweight champions, to be honest. Fury, Usyk, the Klitschko bros, Joshua. These guys would all be a problem in different eras. Saudi money's not enough for Canelo. We need to hang on. 1 second, Max. I'll wrench you up, man, because you've been around for fucking years. I don't like giving out. I'm not a person who gives out many wrench. I don't like the whole wrench thing, but I never want my channel to become like a sea of wrenches. Do you know what I mean? But I'll give you one if you want to share a link. I nearly fucking blocked you, bro. I nearly fucking blocked you. Christ, that would have been disastrous. Yeah, the Saudi money's not enough for Canelo. Yeah, Turki Al-Sheikh's out here exposing people. I don't think it's that, London, BG. I don't think it's about the money necessarily with Canelo. I think the risk he takes by going to the Saudi money is the fact that he's not going to have as much protection as he usually does. Because it's not about money for these guys, ultimately. It's not about money for Saudi Arabia. They want to try and rehabilitate their image, you know. Maybe you could call it sports washing, who knows? But it's more than a business thing for Saudi. They want the best, I think they want the best quality product. And the fact that it may be sports washing may actually mean, in a weird way, we get more real fights because the money motivation is not there for Saudi Arabia, in my opinion. Obviously, they'd like their money back, and in an ideal world, they would like to make money, but I don't think that's the main motivator here. I really don't. I really don't. So in a weird way, I think you'll see these guys fuck less with the actual outcome of fights because making the long-term money is not really in their MO right now. Yeah, Ruiz is shot though, in my opinion. His poor diet's caught up with him, yeah. And now he's got that bad hand injury. Yeah, he's toast. He's toast. He's done. Khan Spence? Spence. At welterweight, Spence. I think it's a very dangerous fight. I could see Boashuk winning, yeah. If Ortiz is half cooked, then Boashuk's got a very good chance. He could expose it. If Ortiz is at his best, I think Ortiz wins. Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm saying, Fight Scout. 100%. Virgil Ortiz has gone about 1 full minute of fake fights in 3 to 4 years. Yeah. The last real fight he had was Kavalauskas. That was 2022. Yeah, 100% Nordic. Yeah, I don't like Dr. Pepper. Not a fan of it. Yeah, so yeah, okay. I remember the rumor, but in Ireland it was the drink light. It's a lemon drink. I know light, yeah. I'm pretty certain. We have light in the UK, or was it Lil? I swear we have that. I think I've seen it. I really hope Iron Brew doesn't damage sperm. Mate, I think all this shit does, honestly. It was Mountain Dew for us, okay. Mountain Dew, by the way, I've had Mountain Dew over here just to try it, and it was horrible. Honestly, it was awful. I'm assuming the American one, though, is better. It's probably got a lot more sugar in it. I look at the Saudi shows, and I see a promoter like Hearn, who is a control freak. I told you about Bellew in the Saudis. I can't imagine he likes the Warren deal. And the facts is he's not the lead promoter. Yeah. Yeah, he's making all of these guys fall in line, isn't he? Turki Al-Sheikh. He hasn't got the foot speed, Mr. Vanilla, to keep up with Usyk, in my opinion. I think Usyk's a bad style matchup for a guy like David Tua. I don't think he's got the foot speed to keep up with a guy like Usyk, to be quite frank. I don't think he's got the foot speed. Obviously, if Usyk stayed fucking still and Tua landed a perfect left hook, then yeah, of course, Tua could do something. But Usyk doesn't stand still, and he's not going to stand still for David Tua. I mean, listen, Tua's kryptonite was movement. His kryptonite was movement. You know? But Tua's always got a puncher's chance in most fights. Tua's got a puncher's chance in most fights. But you saw how he struggled against a guy like Chris Bird, for example. You know? A southpaw who could move, who could dart in and out. Chris Bird, I think Chris Bird may be slightly shorter than Usyk. And we saw how Tua struggled with Chris Bird. The Saudis probably don't realise there's more to boxing than the top level unless they are leaving for promoters to handle the up-and-coming fighters. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Turki Al-Sheikh is definitely a massive casual, let's be honest. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, the diet sodas don't have as much known about them, and the new research isn't great, yeah. Probably in 20 years' time, we'll be told how they're even worse for you than full sugar ones. Yeah, Canelo's pricing himself out, simple as, I can't believe his stands think he's entitled to $150 to $200 million when Mayweather's biggest guaranteed purse never went over 100 million. Yeah, 100%. But these guys are not logical. Yeah, Lilt, yeah. So it got taken over by Fanta, and it's not a Fanta variant. Okay. I like Lucozade. Out of all of these fizzy drinks, I agree. It's more of an energy drink though, but I do like a Lucozade. When I hear Mountain Dew, I think of that fucking fat wanker, Boogie 2988. Yeah, I have an orange Lucozade before training, and I feel like it helps a little, especially if I haven't eaten that day. Yeah, and it's great after great after a hangover. Bro, BG London, that's a great shout. Sunny Delight as a kid, loved it, man. That shit was full of sugar. I've not had that since I was a kid. I guarantee you they fucked with that recipe as well. I bet it's shit now. I still just about remember when Lucozade had one flavour. Yeah, I only like the original and the orange. I've tried a couple of the other flavours with these fruity ass looking bottles and they are fucking nasty. I don't think I have Nordic. I don't think I've seen this fight. Tell you what would be a great idea at some point if we get like maybe like me, Nordic, whoever wants to come on, like we get together and watch these old random fights, and maybe like score them retrospectively. Can you imagine Eddie Hearn if Turkey said, "I want a Talma versus Fisher"? Yeah, bro, Eddie would bend the knee. He'd bend the knee and he'd make that fight. Yeah, Sonny D was amazing. Sonny D was amazing. I love Sonny D, man. Pause. But Sonny D was a great drink. Such a good drink. Yeah, I remember, Brad. Yep, I do remember this rumor. Yeah. The rumor was that it would burn a hole in your stomach. Yep. Never had the pink one, and I don't think I've had the Caribbean Crush one either. I've had that fucking blue, no, the green one, the apple one. That was grim. Yeah, it'd be a good idea. It'd be good fun, man. It'd be good fun. Yeah, Boogie is something else. The guy is a cancer. Yeah, he doesn't have cancer. He is a cancer. Sonny V2 ruined him years ago. 100%. I tell you what, Lucozade, yeah, if it's cold Lucozade after a night of drinking, you know when you wake up in the morning and you're fucking parched, you're so dehydrated, drink a Lucozade. First thing you drink, Lucozade, it hits the spot so fucking well. Followed by a good old-fashioned fry-up, and you're good to go. You're back in the game. No hangover, back in the game straight away. Yeah, I've not had sweets in God knows how long. No, I'll tell you what I did have. I had like, you know, your bog standard fruit pastels. And they were so bland. They wasn't what I remember. They even like felt they felt harder as well. Lucozade in the glass bottles, man. I've never seen Lucozade in a glass bottle. Glass bottle Lucozade. No, do you know what? I think I remember this as a very young kid, like 4 or 5 years old. I think I do remember Lucozade glass bottles. Oh, you know, you can still buy them, you know. Ooh. What if Sven was named Demetrius Jones from Baltimore? Would he be considered slick? Low-key, he was slick, though, Sven He was pretty slick. He wasn't as bad as people make out. By any means, he wasn't as bad. Yeah, I was very young, bro. Like, I vaguely remember them. Now I've seen a picture of them. I feel like I remember them in the glass bottles. Because I remember as a young kid, I always thought there was like alcohol or something. Video idea for Disturbed. Gaming channels into the whole Jim will fix it. You know what I mean? Seems like loads have major accusations against them. Yeah. See, I'd love to make a commentary channel where I talk about some of these guys, like a totally separate channel. But it's finding the time, and also getting better at editing because my editing is bad. Yeah, in Ireland we still had the Lucozade in glass bottles until the mid 2000s. They were amazing and had glass and plastic, and they made the glass one smaller so you wouldn't want it. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. London chef, exactly. Yeah, less care now in manufacturing and quality. Yeah, I agree. Like there's something like drinking out of glass. Even like you get a glass bottle of Coke, for example, and it's poured into a glass and whatever, it just tastes better. It tastes a lot better. Like everything tastes better. If it's a drink, it's always going to taste better out of a glass bottle. It could be like beer. Oh shit. There was a drink in the mid 2000s called BPM or BMP. Can't remember the logo, but damn, it was like acid mixed with sugar. I don't think I remember that. Yeah, no microplastics in glass in glass bottles either. Yeah, the silver Rizzler facts. You're from you can still buy the Blues though, can't you? But yeah, I usually try to go for Rizzlers. Yeah, it depends what you get from cans, right? So the only things I like from cans. So sometimes, let's say I'm making a meal in a crock pot, and I can't be asked to like buy like fresh vegetables. So sometimes I'll have like a can of like sweet corn or peas like on standby. And chucking those in with like a crock pot meal, they're okay. Aside from that, like sardines are decent in a can. And that's pretty much all I have out of a can. And chopped tomatoes as well for cooking. That's pretty much all I buy from a can. Chopped tomatoes, sometimes some vegetables, sardines sometimes, and that's about it. And soup, and soup. Yeah, I mean, technically it's an energy drink, right? Technically it's an energy drink. But yeah, I like Lucozade regardless, man. I love Lucozade. 100%, yeah. Wilder is done. Wilder is done. But he's gonna fight on. He's gonna fight on. So we'll see what he does. On my gaming channel, I get loads of requests to review MUA3. I did, and the people who requested it got mad and complained in the comments, calling me a boomer. Yeah, 30-year-old boomer, bro. You've heard it all. Yeah. One of the main reasons I don't want normies on my channel is they don't want honest opinions. They want confirmation bias and conformity. 100%. It's the same. I think it's the same though, bro, in any community. If you cook the food with a lot of fresh veg and spices, you'll take the sting out of the can taste. Yeah. So like I said, when I do a crock pot meal, yeah, you can't taste that shit in the vegetables because it all gets like cooked up with it, and yeah. Because I can't always be asked. Like if I make, let's say for example, I make a chili. Sometimes I'll like cut the tomatoes up and like and make my own do my own chopped tomatoes. But sometimes I just can't be bothered. So I buy a can of like chopped tomatoes. But I try my best. I try my best to try when I actually cook. I try my best to use the best ingredients possible. But sometimes you take a couple of shortcuts here and there. Corned beef is Armageddon food. I low key like corned beef. I'm not gonna lie. I low key like corned beef. Bit of corned beef hash, bro. Lovely. I like a bit of corned beef hash. I've not cooked that in ages. Have you totally stopped lives, G-Man? Or are you just going to go live when you want to go live kind of thing? No schedule. Fury was mentally broken when AJ killed Ngannou after Ngannou beat Tyson. Possibly. I think he was mentally broken. I don't think it was even that. I just think he was physically broken after like 7-8 rounds. I think he realized he couldn't keep up with Usyk. And I think he had that anxiety going into the fight as well. I really, really do. That's why you saw so much like showboating from Tyson Fury early on. You know, if he would make Usyk miss or land a punch, he would kind of showboat. I think he was trying his very best to maintain the image that he was in control and also to con the judges that he was in control. Because I don't think he had the faith in his gas tank to go full 12. I'm sure I saw a video of Ike Ibushi very recently sparring and still talking about making a comeback. Well, do you remember, like in 2016, he was supposed to come back? It may have been a bit earlier. It may have been 2014. It was in one of those years, 2014, 2015, 2016, one of those years. And he was supposed to come back and fight Andy Ruiz, if you remember. Because it was almost like official. Like Top Rank were trying to make that fight in like 2014-ish, 2015-ish. Ike Ibushi versus Andy Ruiz. Just found out about this Crawford gloves controversy. Do you think people accusing him of cheating have a case? Gloves bursting twice is extremely weird. Let's just be honest. I've never seen gloves burst in a fight before. That they did in the Avanesian fight. And then in the warm-up for the Madrimov fight, his gloves burst again. That is extremely fishy. Let's just be honest. It's very fishy. What laws do you think Parliament are cooking up because of these riots? Facial recognition, they'll try and push that through. Digital IDs maybe in the long run to go along with the facial recognition. I do partly think maybe this was orchestrated, which is why I was, conflicted on it. Oh, yeah, 100%, Al. Yeah, they're terrible for us. 100%. Oh, yeah, no, Barshock did a very good job, J-Man, on Mendoza. Mendoza's not a bad fighter either. Has he actually, Nordic? How do you know? Did he comment or something? That's interesting. Listening to him now, he actually, I've heard a couple of interviews with him and he seems pretty put together. You know? Ike right now with Chin Fisher. Let's get Ike Ibushi versus Dave Allen. Okay, live watch along, yes, and maybe the odd one. I have my reasons for not doing them now. I'll tell you backstage sometime. It makes me not want to do them. Okay. Yeah, do what's right for you, man. Do what's right for you. Yeah, gloves bursting once is very rare, yeah. What's everyone's favorite alcoholic drink? I'm trying to cut back, bro. I'm trying to cut back. I've done a pretty good job this year, though, overall, of cutting back. I've had a pretty good rule of like not drinking on weekdays, and I've pretty much, well, I've done very well at it. And I'm drinking less and less now. I just don't enjoy it like I used to. You know? I'm addicted to expensive coconut water. Fuck fizzy drinks. Yeah, coconut water is actually really nice. Coconut water's got a lot of like electrolytes in it. So it's good for rehydration, I think. It's good for rehydration. Coconut water is really good. I've kind of got into cooking with coconut as well. Like coconut curries. So fucking good. Especially like works well with chicken, obviously. Like everything works with chicken, but also like seafood and fish and shit like that. Like this was a while ago, like probably a year or two ago. I made like a coconut crab curry, and fuck me, it was amazing. It was so good. With some rice. Lovely. I've not cooked as much recently though. Yeah, Prime looks awful. Prime looks fucking awful. Yeah, I said this on Twitter, G-Man. I agree. Like Dave Allen, I didn't like Dave Allen as a fighter. It wasn't even necessarily him personally as like a regular guy, but I just didn't like how he was given certain fights with not training and turning up half-assed. I never liked Dave Allen's career. I never really enjoyed it. But his insights into boxing, I can't lie, are pretty good. He reveals some, interesting stories of sparring, his experiences, things like that. He's actually got quite a good channel. Saying things, like sparring guys like Hellenius, AJ, Bacole, Usyk, Bellew, Enzo Macronelli. Like he said, like over like 2 or 3 rounds, like Hellenius is among the best he's sparred. Like he's up there in terms of skill. But basically, like real fights, Hellenius is gassed after like 2 rounds. Do I think Madrimov can beat Tim Tszyu? I think he's got a chance, yeah. I think he's got a chance. If you think about it, there's some great fights to make at 54. Ortiz versus Madrimov. Ortiz, Tim Tszyu. Ortiz, Crawford. Crawford, Tim Tszyu. Ortiz, Fundora, Crawford. Maybe Jamel Charlo gets back into the mix. There's that Russian champion as well. Was it Mutazaliev or whatever his name is? 54 is pretty good. Yeah, a lot of Thai curries are coconut based, 100%. I'm a big fan of Thai food. So usually, if I cook with spice. I like hot food, like pretty. I'm a spicy food guy. But if I get like a cooked meal, if I go out or if I cook for myself, the only other alternative really is like Thai. I know Thai does hot food as well, but even like the mild or not hot Thai food is really good. I've never had the CBD drinks. Yeah, I've had a bad year by my standards for drinking this year, which is probably nothing for most, laugh out loud. Yeah. Now, I know you're pretty health conscious, G-Man. You're probably ahead of most of us in this chat. I'm not going to lie. %, Matt, 100%. But it's always, listen, the working class in this country have always been looked down upon regardless. The class structure in this country is very real. But ultimately, I think all of these riots are largely orchestrated to a certain degree. And I think what you see is the implementation, or at least the attempted implementation of like digital ID, facial recognition, or more facial recognition, shit like that. And it's going to spiral from there. Serrano's good. Yeah, he was a bum fighter, Dave Allen. Blue Moon is good, based. Modelo, never actually tried it. Heineken's good. Stella Artois, excellent choice, my good sir. Very good. I use coconut milk. Haven't got into coconut water yet. Yeah, I cook with like coconut milk, yeah. And coconut cream and shit like that. It's just a bit different. I'm not, like I said, usually I'm a spice guy, but I do like coconut type of dishes. Thank you, Max. Big up to yourself, man. Salute. Salute. Big up. Thank you, man. Hellenius' power and technique is great. He just lacks fitness, yeah. And his chin isn't the best either. Tonic's okay with gin, BG. Yeah, imagine that Hellenius had the kind of work ethic that Vlad had. Yeah, he'd have been a problem. He'd have been a problem. Drinks wise, a single malt whiskey or German beers like Lowenbrau or Spartan. I've had Lowenbrau. That's a good beer. I've not had Spartan though. Sometimes, sometimes you just kind of get what you're given in the shops, kind of thing. They don't always have the greatest selection. Not around here, anyway. Yes, divide and rule. It's like Corona 2.0. The people are playing right into their hands. Yeah. Yeah, full of government plants. Probably some people wearing Antifa masks before. Yeah, same people wearing Antifa masks before. Yeah, 100%. They're very definitely like paid actors, in my opinion, like state actors in these sort of events. You know, I 100% believe that. Yeah, the 100 riots rumors were sketchy at best. Played football in the city yesterday, and it was like a ghost town. No issues at all. Yeah, yeah. It seemed like a lot of scare tactics and fear mongering. To be honest, what are your thoughts on bringing back some form of national service? I'm against it because I'm done with. Well, listen, I've never been for foreign intervention in the countries we've gone to. I think forcing somebody to fight in such a war potentially is just immoral on every level. It's it's essentially slavery in one of its worst forms. If you're forcibly recruiting people into the army and then sending them to war, it's one of the worst forms of slavery. It's morally wrong. It's morally wrong. Conscription or the national service. It's morally wrong. Having said that, a lot of kids these days need to kick up the backside. Kids do need to learn discipline. How that can transpire, I don't know. I don't know. Kids do need that discipline that maybe national service would give them, but when I say kids, I mean young men. But I just don't think national service is moral at all. Look at who funded Keir Starmer's election campaign. A guy called Trevor Chin. Research him. What's up, boss man? How you doing, cuz? Yeah, Stella's good. Moretti's good too. Older I've got, the more I like Guinness, and I stick to it. Yeah, Guinness is nice. Yeah, I like me a Guinness. Beermish is a nice stout too. I've not had it. I've not tried it. Who's Johnny Gosh? I don't know who Johnny Gosh is. I know the name, but I don't know who it is. Yeah, they seem to be really trying to accelerate things now. Crazy how unrecognizable the country is in every way from just a decade ago. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, national service that isn't military maybe is a different boat, but it usually leads to military conscription as a gateway drug. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. That's a good idea. Maybe national service for the donut kids who are trying to stab each other. Better service instead of going to prison. Then they'll have discipline that a lot of parents no longer instill. That's an interesting take. That's an interesting take. I saw Hawker's comment. Was it the APAC one? That one. I saw it. In Ireland, the army guys I see go into reform and come out are even more scummy. Yeah. Yeah, one of the early episodes of a TV series, Black Mirror, pretty much predicted the future in terms of everybody having a microchip inserted from birth, and everything you do in life is recorded. Yeah, we're getting that way now. Oh shit, that was invisible to you. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, YouTuber funky, man, honestly. Nah, I've not been watching the Olympics whatsoever. Boss man, I've not watched it. The only good program the federal government has is in the US is for national parks. Yeah, I'd like to visit some national parks in America, especially like the ones out in the middle of nowhere, like in states that nobody talks about, like fucking like Montana. I agree, G-man. Yeah. Jalalov. Okay, Jalalov got to the final again. Why is that guy back in the amateurs, man? Seriously. He's a heavyweight who's won a gold in the previous games. Like, he should be pushing on as a pro. Yeah, that could be predictive programming, to be honest, Black Mirror. It could be. It could be. We are going down that road, though, aren't we? We are going down that road. That's why I laugh about the whole Elon Musk thing. Yeah, the guy's made Twitter a better place to a degree, and he says the right things to a certain degree on some topics. But at the end of the day, the guy is still trying to put fucking microchips into your fucking cranium. So it's like people just like brush over that though because he's saying a few culture war points that some people agree with. Do you know what I mean? So, see, this is people's problems. I think they'll hear a person say one thing they agree with, and they'll then discount all the other flaws, and vice versa. Though it works the same the opposite way. They may say one thing they disagree with, but they'll ignore the useful things they say. That's a big problem in today's society. Predominantly people who are really entrenched in the left-right paradigm. It really greatly affects them. You know. People again, like Nordic made a point earlier about one of his videos. People just want they want their opinions to be confirmed, and that's it. Oh, really? Jalalov was a bit lucky to get the decision in the quarterfinals against the Australian. Okay, interesting. Yeah, Musk is another one who promoted the Larry Holmes. How good is he? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Musk, Peterson, people like these people say the right things and people follow them. Yet look how they behaved when shit got real. Just take the damn vaccine. Yeah, that's what Jordan Peterson said. Yeah. And Jordan Peterson, I when he first came along, what was it, 2016, 2017? When he was in his field of clinical psychology or whatever it is, he actually was pretty good. He was talking about the culture war issue thing because that's how he got popular. But primarily, his message was about stoicism, mental toughness, things like that. Things that anybody can apply, any man can apply, no matter where you're from. Then as he gets more popular, as he's in the spotlight longer, you see this guy breaking down. You see this guy addicted to benzos. You see this guy then calling for World War III, war with Iran. Gets involved in geopolitics, and he's lost his shit. The guy is everything other than what he preaches. He's not mentally stoic. He's not calm. He's not rational. He's irrational. He's emotional. And he's hysterical. You know? Still, you can still take lessons from his clinical psychology because a lot of it is very good. But him as an influencer overall, I think he I don't know. I think he lost it. I think he lost it a long time ago. Yeah, no need for chips and ID. Our phones have all the information. But yeah, I still think they'll go a step further. Yeah, Peterson literally can't get through a video without crying. 100%. Yeah, people are incredibly dogmatic, especially with this new ideology we're seeing emerge that divides everybody along different lines. 100%. Yeah. 100%. The crying seems unauthentic to me. He seems like a broken man to me, Nordic. He seems like a broken man, I'll be honest. I find Peterson has gone Hollywood now, especially going to the Daily Wire and his token suits, etc. Yeah, some of his suits look fucking disturbing, by the way. Some of his suits look disturbing these days as well. Let's be honest, man. He's a strange character. He's a strange character, Jordan Peterson. Makes you wonder what happened when he went on those benzos and he had that weird rehab session where he went to Russia and really weird, just really strange. Really strange. It's like Tony Bellew crying after winning fights. Yeah, he could beat like some bartender and he would start bawling. Yeah. Thank you, Max, man. I wouldn't go that far, man. I wouldn't go that far, but I very much appreciate the compliment. Yeah. I've been going on a few walks lately, Nordic, just at night, out and about, and it's nice. Yeah, I feel like he's outlived his usefulness. Not even outlived his usefulness, because I think his original message is always very useful among men. But yeah, he's kind of tarnished his reputation, in my opinion. He's kind of tarnished his reputation. Like, one thing I don't like, I hate people, it's a pet peeve of mine. I really hate people who call for war, who have no chance of fighting in it themselves, and their kids have no chance of fighting in it themselves. And that's what Peterson was doing when he was like begging for war with Iran and things like that. I just find that there's something extra scummy about that, in my opinion. For me, ideology is a tool the elites use and propagate to keep the working class at odds with each other, to keep us under control. Yeah. Yeah, the men and women who engage with that content, like both of you guys are saying, they're as bad as each other. They're as bad as each other, because without one, there isn't the other. You know, so really strange how there's been so many celebrities like Peterson, Eddie Murphy, and Dave Chappelle who seem to get spooked and go into exile for a while like that. Yeah. I don't know if like Dave Chappelle has changed as such though. His stand-up seems still pretty like he's not scared to target certain groups and whatnot. Like he kind of seems to target everyone pretty fairly. Whether it be like he's pretty fair with it. But you know, if he attacks like the alphabet people, not even attacks, if he makes fun of the alphabet people, it's out of order and this, that, and the third. But he can make fun of other groups and it's okay. Yeah, paying for feet pics when there are reflexology videos on YouTube. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, the people calling for war should be first in line. I agree. The only time I'd agree with a war these days, I think, if it's defensive. Honestly, if it's defensive, if it is genuinely a defensive requirement, then yeah, you got to defend yourself. Whether you're a country, whether you're a city, whether you're a town, whether you're a village, whether you're an individual. I've got Virgil, but I think it's a difficult fight, sucker free. I think it's a very difficult fight. Yeah, the React Paul and Madonna thing was crazy. G-Man, it's crazy, and it's funny, isn't it? Like he lost right after getting with Madonna. I believe succubuses are real, and Madonna is definitely a succubus. It's like Kim Kardashian as well. Like I believe succubuses are real. There's some that have definitely been got to, though. Frankie Boyle was the most obvious one I've seen. I've not, to be honest, I've never really followed Frankie Boyle, so I'd need to see a before and after kind of thing. The Saxons had a form of national service that was a form of defence of England or their kingdom, as it was when it was attacked. Yeah, like a national service where you had no where they couldn't send you to war if you didn't want to go. That may be a different question, but I don't trust it. Wonder how Tim Zhu got the IBF Mando after coming off a loss. Yeah, that's interesting. The Russian dude's the champion, that Murat Saliev, I think his name. He beat Jack Kolkai in a really good fight in Germany. But yeah, that'd be a good fight. Frankie Boyle is another example of what I like to call safe edge, like Eminem or Tyan Booth. Yeah, I've not seen Tyan Booth in a minute. Does he still upload? Does Tyan Booth still upload? I do think he probably got shadow banned, to be honest, Tyan Booth. Because he's popping at one point. 100%, 100%. Would I fight for this country? Yeah, in a defensive standpoint, yeah. If it was defensive, then you'd have to fight, right? You have to fight if it's defensive. But aside from that, nah. I was going to bring up Frankie Boyle. His shows these days are a humiliation ritual. I'll need to look into it. Yeah, bro, there's so many minefields these days for young men. Even me, man, I'm 30 and I'm still out on the prowl and I still, get out there. But bro, it's a risky world, man. It's a risky world. You never fight for the country, you fight for the government. That's the thing, Al. That's the thing. Where did I get the name Del Boy from? It's a childhood nickname. So when I was at school, I was the kid who sold fucking loose fucking cigarettes, sweets and shit like that. Basically, that's how I got it. And it works with my surname as well. So yeah, that's how I got it. I've not seen it. I've not seen it, G-Man. I read the other day a bloke at his work got sacked for saying to his female co-worker that she looked nice or pretty or something. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. Yeah, 100% PSK. That's how I feel, man. If it was like life or death and it's either fight or die on your knees, I'll fight. But aside from that, bro, fuck that shit. Right now, I'll fight for my family. I'll fight for my own sovereignty. I'll fight for my friends. That's really it. I thought about this for a while, man. There's things keeping me here right now, to be honest with you. Some personal things keeping me here. But over the last few years, I've saved X amount of money. Good amount, so I could start again if I wanted to. But things right now, there's things keeping me here. Family stuff. I think it's mainly pushed over socials, Al, to be honest. How common is OnlyFans these days? Is the average woman on it? Or is it just pushed all over social media? I honestly think a lot of it is just social media. I've never been out with a woman who's been on fucking OnlyFans or anything like that. I don't know any women right now in my life who are on OnlyFans, to be honest. Well, unless they're not fucking telling me. But yeah, if he was 6'4" with a 9-pack, he wouldn't have been sacked. Facts. Yeah, hence why I never get involved with women in any work. Yep, I agree. All of them. Yeah, that's the best way to be, guys. If you're working with multiple people and you happen to work with females, don't bother. It's not worth it. Don't shit where you eat. Don't shit where you sleep. Just don't. It's not worth it. It's tempting, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth the arsehole. It's not worth the aggro. Chances are, listen, nothing will go wrong. And if you split up, you split up. But you might get a psycho. You might get a psycho who spreads all sorts of rumors, who spreads accusations because maybe you didn't call her back after you nutted in her face. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Tell with a long duster coat. You're looking for something special? I got what you need. I'll be living in London come August 19th. My plan in a year or so to stay a year or so in the UK and then somewhere likely Eastern Europe or somewhere else. But yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Yeah, I've never met a woman who's into OnlyFans, to be honest. I knew of somebody, so it's like my friend's sister's mate who does OnlyFans, but she's like not good looking. Yeah, I made that mistake a few times in my younger days, but luckily got away with it by the skin of my teeth. But in hindsight, would have never done it. Yeah, bro, I fuck that shit. I would never do it. She could look like fucking whoever, like Dua Lipa or something. I wouldn't do it. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. So many like tapped guys out here, completely fucking cucked. Honestly, tapped. I'm still trying to sleep with my boss. I don't care. That's a better idea. If you're gonna do it, if you are gonna do it, this is actually a somewhat decent idea. If you're gonna do it with somebody who's more senior than you. So if you're a younger guy, you got a manager, you know, and you can, maybe you do it then because you could then say, oh, the power dynamic, she took advantage of me. Maybe then you could do it. Maybe then you could do it. Okay, you're getting a job sorted, held me up, and the flat's been a nightmare. Took longer than I thought. Yeah, I did it once, and that was enough of an experience to not do it twice. Yeah, I've been pretty good in those regards. I'd rather meet some bird elsewhere. But if JD gets a promotion out of it or a pay rise, then listen, take my advice and throw it out the window. Take my advice and throw it out the window. Exactly. That's the main rule. That's the main rule, I think. Yeah, don't shit where you eat. Don't shit where you eat. Because listen, man, again, 9 times out of 10, nothing's gonna come from it. Like you won't get in you like 9 times out of 10, it's probably gonna work out regardless. But if it's that 1 out of 10, you could get fucked. You could get fucked. That's a great shout. This is actually, see, this is what we like here. It's proactive thinking. Make sure she's married. So worst case scenario, you can threaten her by telling the husband to keep her mouth shut if things do go bad or you want to break it off. See, we're a solution-based community here. This is what we're talking about. Bro, I remember my old job, the head of department, she was in her 40s and we always flirted and she was okay too. I always wonder if I did, what would have happened? would have never been anything more than a shag, yeah. I get you. Yeah, I think we've all been there. We've all been there, man, at work. I'm kind of half lying though. I did go out with like a relative of a boss of mine, but yeah. See, Copend is coming here with solutions. You know? So same with JD though. JD had a good solution. Try and go upwards. Shag upwards. Don't shag on your level or downwards. Don't do it downwards especially. Don't even do it on your level. Shag a senior. Not an old bitch. I mean like a senior in the company who is senior to your position. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. Then say, like, oh, she was threatening me with my job. My livelihood was at stake. I had to do it. I would actually with my, I think she's, like managing director, I guess she would be. She's kind of that proper milfy fucking type, you know? Proper milfy, like. Shag up and down. No, you can shag down in your personal life, but I don't think if you're going to shag at work, don't shag down. Definitely don't. That again, I would try and aim upwards. Try and aim upwards. Make sure you say I didn't enjoy it. Yeah, say that as well. Bro, but honestly, it's in all seriousness, I just wouldn't play with fire, to be honest with you. I wouldn't play with fire. Yeah, I've never been with a gilf. Christ, fuck me. Shag down to go up. Kate Abdo did that with Macklin when she was at Sky Sports. Not sure what her motivation was. That's a shout. Fair play to fucking Matt Macklin, though. Like, Matt Macklin, listen, you can't... That guy's obviously got some sort of riz, as the kids would say. He's obviously got some kind of riz, because she was always more, like, famous than he was. Matty Macklin with those fucking MTK, Daniel Kinahan fucking riz techniques. Good old Macklin. Most MILFs I've come across have said I'm cute or handsome, but I always shy away from them. Yeah, you should give it a go one time, Certified Church Classic. You should give it a go one time. You know what I'm saying? You should give it a go. Pick up a couple of lessons here and there. The oldest bird I was with was, she was 30... I forget whether she was 32 or 34, but I was 22 or 23 at the time. 32 or 34, I forget the age, to be honest. But there was like about a 10-year age difference. That was when I was 22 or 23. It was in the summer of... It was at some point in 2013. It's either the spring or the early summer, so I'd have been 22 or 23. But yeah, that's the oldest age gap I've had upwards. In terms of dating down, the youngest I'd go is 21. No younger than that. But yeah, Matt Macklin struck gold. Matt Macklin did strike gold. Best win of his career, that was. Best win of his career. Without doubt. Without doubt. But yeah, whatever did happen to gilfs, I don't think anybody's into gilfs. Surely, maybe you become into gilfs as you like approach 40. Maybe, like maybe at that stage you appreciate a gilf. But yeah, I don't understand it. Macklin had that MTK Kinahan his facts. He did. MILFs love the attention, especially if they are single. Yeah, oldest for me was 44. I was 22 in 2015. It was a month fling of just shags. Never even dated a girl in her 30s after that. Fair play, G-Man. G-Man's out here fucking satiating the elderly. Not the elderly, but you get my point. The middle-aged. Yeah, Kate Abdu, she dates down a lot, you know, BG London. Have you noticed it? Macklin, Malik Scott, like she dates down. So there's hope for us, basically. There's hope for us. There's hope for us. There's hope for us, man. Malik is not with Deontay anymore. The elderly. Yeah, I done G-Man dirty there. I done him dirty a little bit. But to be fair, G-Man spreads these fake rumors about me being, you know, into large women. So, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, is what I say. Yeah, 100%. I think we all are as younger guys, right? Once like you're in your early 20s, you're kind of intrigued. She's one of the presenters. So she's on. What is she on? Is she on DAZN or PBC? One of the two. I think she's on DAZN. Oh no! Okay, so she went from Barack to Thierry Henry, Malik Scott. Yeah, she dates up and down like a yo-yo, bro. I work in a care home, like an all-you-can-eat buffet for G-Man. Bruh. Rumors, man. Listen, Chinese whispers. Go for it, JD, and tell us how you get on. Don't come back here and say I got fired, by the way. Because we're not going to take blame if it goes pear-shaped. We gave you the warning of don't go there. So if it goes pear-shaped, it's not on us. I wonder if Del's 34-year-old was found at the buffet. I love Del loves a girl who he can shag and use her tummy as a duvet at the same time. Ah, Christ. Yeah, Kate Abdu is I don't know. It gives us a little bit of hope. Gives us a little bit of hope. Try and get hold of like a multi-millionaire TV presenter. Gives us a bit of hope. No, I don't think so, man. I think men date down more than women do, to be honest. So if anybody's dated up here, like, it does feel kind of weird. I'm not going to lie. It does feel kind of weird dating up. Do you think they should add more BBW apps for us single handsome men? Listen, if that's what you're into, that's what you're into. I'm sure there's websites out there. I'm sure. There's websites for all sorts of dating. So there's probably like a paraplegic dating app. Do you know what I'm saying? Basically, yeah, this is basically true almost. I think like 95% of men entered their relationship initially just to get a shag, and they just stuck around after that. And they kind of, it worked out kind of thing. But I think most men's initial goal is to get a shag, and then it turns into a relationship, possibly. Am I wrong? Yeah, I get the I get like the different opinions on it. Yeah, women date for clout, men date to get their end away, basically. Now I'm feeling we need a foreign wife. I think we need a foreign wife, like Latin or Eastern European. That's what we're looking for. That's a good shout. It's a good shout. BBWs can cook you a better dinner. Well, can they? But yeah, it's a good shout. It's a good shout. Cushion for the pushing, yes. Cushion for the pushing. 100% of the time, yeah. Basically. Something to hold on to. Listen, there's got to be something to hold on to. I'm not like into like super skinny women. I've been with skinny women, and some skinny women are nice and whatnot. Some can rock it well, but overall, it's not my go-to. I like a little bit, like a bit of thickness. Not with like 17 Cs, but yeah, I've never been with an Italian girl. An Italian girl who could cook would be fucking good, very good. Bellissimo, would be very good. It'd be very good. I think if I could like go to any country with like my Riz turned up to 100, like it's a video game, and I get maxed out on Riz, and I'm guaranteed to find a woman, like a life partner, I'd probably get to the first flight to Venezuela, to be honest. First flight to Venezuela. We're going out there. But yeah, I'd probably go Venezuela, I'll be honest. I'd probably like to stay in Venezuela. I don't care what's going on right now. Yeah, exactly. Healthy body fat. Indeed, yeah. Indeed. Thank you, man. Mike, big up to yourself as well. Yeah, it's a trash fight, isn't it? It's a bad fight. It's just a bad fight. Big, thick, strong thighs and stuff. Exactly. Like an equestrian fucking horse rider. Yeah. Dated a Venezuelan. She was nuts. Yeah, man. I like the Latin, and I like that Latin kind of energy with it. To be honest, because I don't want somebody like super docile. I'm not like one of those people. I like that Latin kind of spice, but at the same time, they're very feminine as well. I like Eastern Europeans as well, but they're less spicy. Yeah, the old Yugoslavian countries. Yeah, you mean like, I guess like Croatia and whatnot, right? Well, that's a good question. Your thoughts on age gap relationships? Is there a gap where it becomes wrong? I guess I can only answer from my perspective. So right now I'm 30 and the youngest I'd go is 21, 22. But exactly, Liam, 100%. Got fat asses. Yes, sir. You've dated 2 Venezuelan women. Lucky man. Lucky man. Yeah, and also Venezuelans are pretty fucking based as well, from what I see anyway. They're pretty based from what I see. Okay, Max agrees. They're crazy. Yeah, you need a bit of fat. Same time. Yeah, this is the thing. Comically big asses are not real. Like the comically big fucking asses, they're not real. But I do like a big ass. Big ass, nice thighs, nice titties. But titties is like third on the list for me. I'll be honest. Aggressive Polish woman. Yes, a great shout. Yeah, women with eating disorders age quickly. That's one thing I notice. There's gym girls and there's gym girls. So the gym girls who stay super lean, they age quick. That's one thing I've noticed as I've got a bit older. Girls who are my age, the gym girls who stay very lean age very quickly. They seem to age quicker, whereas gym girls who maybe they do a few squats to all that shit, but they still eat okay and they're not like strict on their diet. They age a lot better. Oh, nice. Dated a Brazilian. Isn't there a lot of like Brazilians in Ireland, right? There's quite a lot of Brazilians in Ireland, I believe. You have a little influx of Cubans as well, man. That's another route you could go down. I do like a good old Cuban. I do like a Cuban. Yeah, they've seen communism firsthand, so they hate all this woke shit. Yeah. Colombians have the highest libido I've encountered. Yes, sir. Yeah, exactly. Stay well clear of plastic and fish lips. Red flags. If they aren't happy with how they look, indeed, natural look with minimal makeup is the way for me, and that's what I settled down with. That's the best way to be as well. Polish women will cook for you and take care of you, but also drive you insane. Yeah, I like the Eastern European accent. Whether I know Poland's not really Eastern Europe, but all parts of that type, those parts of the world, the accents are nice. All the way up to like the Baltic regions, the accents are nice. Yeah, a good few Brazilians, not all good. Some horror stories I've heard. I was lucky. The only reason we didn't stay together, she wanted to go back to Brazil. You should have went. You should have went with her, man. Go to Brazil, bro. No, 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 no. I nearly got with a German girl in fucking Bulgaria, but she was like, bro, I swear she was on the fucking spectrum. She was weird. Like, she was so weird. You know when you feel like it's a good idea, then you quickly realize it's not a good idea. This was like circa 2016. So I was like 22 then, I think. How old was I in 2016? Yeah, about 22, I guess. Or 23. 23, whatever. But anyway, there's this German girl, and she was like literally trying to take me back to her hotel room in front of everybody, like in the pitch, like middle of the day. Was in the pool, and she was with her fucking family as well. By the way, she was with her family on that holiday. Like she was like some proper autist, I swear to God. And I never went with her, by the way. I never went with her. It weirded me out, like the fact she said, "Oh, I'm with my family." like a mum or dad and shit. I was like, nah, this is not it. This is not it. I don't think they do, JD. I don't think they do. I don't think they do. You've been watching too many weird movies online. What's up, Bruce? How you doing, man? Hopefully you're well. Andy Ruiz should just become a body positivity Instagrammer. Could do, you know. Yeah, no, that's true, you know. Like Iranian women, some Iranian women are like mad pretty, like crazy pretty. Yeah, 100%. Like Lebanese as well. Yeah, 100%. Has anyone dated an English woman here? Yes, several. Several. Oh, yeah, Eurotrash. I do remember Eurotrash on Freeview when I was a kid. I was like 14 years old, staying up to watch that shit. You know, when my parents went to bed, bro. Fucking hell. Fucking hell, man. That brings up memories, man. Christ. Some very regrettable fucking wanks back then. Christ. Fucking hell. Yeah, no, some Indian girls are nice. I've been with an Indian girl from Luton. And that's I think I've told the story before. Like we nearly got caught by her. So she went to college in Bedford. And then anyway, I got kind of like talking to her and shit. And obviously one thing leads to another, as it always does. Got back to her place in Luton. This is a long fucking trek, by the way, from Bedford to Luton. Anyway, things were getting heated as they do. Then her family come back, and she's like obviously some sort of religious. So her family come back. She puts I hide in the fucking cupboard for like the best part of 20 minutes. And then I had to leave once her family were like in the living room. I had to creep downstairs and fucking leave. So I had the worst blue balls, man. The worst blue balls. The blue balls, I remember, the blue balls were so bad. Like, my balls were aching all the way home. I got home, I had a wank, and it did nothing to alleviate it at all. I had blue balls for like hours, it felt like. Yeah, Eurotrash, man. Fuck me, Christ. Oh my God. Fucking awful. Fucking awful. But yeah, if you want a good cook, by the way, like an Indian girl could be the way to go. So I fucking love Indian food. I love Indian food. I really do. Boxing to blue balls. I swear we've only been talking about boxing for like half hour, maybe. These streams always turn degenerate every single time. Maybe it's me. I can blame you guys, but maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Imagine tuning in right now. Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, there's been some funny stories coming up. I've been pretty good over the last few years, man. I've got no crazy stories from like the last few years when it comes to like women and my escapades, to be honest. All been pretty standard. All been pretty standard. I've been very lucky for the most part of avoiding psychos as well. I've been pretty fucking lucky, to be honest. Because I know people who have like been involved in like horror stories, like oh, nice. Your partner's Indian, and it's like getting an Indian takeaway every night. That sounds fucking nice. Yeah, Indian food is lovely, man. Indian food is lovely. Thing is with Indian food, like even like the starter stuff, like so like samosas and shit. I could eat a plate of samosas and I'll be very content. Or onion bhajis. Indian food is so good. They make even like so parts of a dish that could be considered vegetarian. They make that shit taste good. So like vegetable samosas, for example, amazing. I could eat a whole fucking plate of them until I'm full. This might be the most based answer. Yeah, they're all crazy. It's just a question of how insane. Yeah. A Balti and a shag sounds like a good night. I don't know, you could fuck it up. Like, you could fuck it up and like need the toilet. That's a dangerous thing when you're like, if you're going on a dinner date, like sometimes it's very dangerous in regards to what you order. I think I've told this story as well, right? This was when I was young as well, but I must have been 18, 19, maybe even younger, but it was a long time ago. But anyway, I went out on a date with Bird. She took me back to her place. And for the longest time, I needed a shit. Okay, and I got back to hers. I tried my best not to show it. But anyway, I eventually caved in and had to use the toilet. So I went to the toilet, expecting a quick shit. I'm going to get it all out, wipe super well, and get out. Okay, took the shit. Pronto. Okay, all good. Wipe my ass, great. Flush the toilet, water comes flooding up, and it starts to overflow. So I had to use the plunger, smash all that shit down the toilet. The fucking floor was covered in water. I had to use a fucking towel that was in the bathroom, wipe the floor up. I threw the towel like behind this fucking cabinet. And bro, I threw the towel behind the cabinet so it was like hidden. I didn't know what else to do. I didn't want to say, I took a shit and I flooded your toilet. So anyway, I sorted the toilet. I wiped all the water up. I put the towel behind the cabinet. I was looking for a window. There wasn't a window. Anyway, I sorted it out. Got back out. I realised I'd fucked it. I realised this is not going to end well. So I kind of like, I don't feel well, and I left. And circa like 2 to 3 hours later, she said, "What did you do in my toilet?" And that's basically the end of that one. It wasn't the end of it, but it was pretty much the end of it. The writing was on the wall. I took a monster shit. I blocked the toilet. I fucked it. I flooded the toilet. No, so what I was going to try and do, I was going to try and throw the towel out the window. Because then I feel like I could have, like, saved it, but... And it totally put me off, like, doing anything else after that. So it's like, fuck. But yeah, it's funny as fuck, man. It was fucking horrifying at the time. It was horrifying at the time, but it's funny to look back on. It's like just my luck as well. It's just my luck. Yeah, I will do, man. Yeah. Go up to the Midlands and try a mixed grill at an Indian pub. It's worth a trip. Yeah, man. I love Indian, man. I really do. But yeah, that's another thing I've learned over the years. If you're going on a date, like, see, it's weird though, because spicy food doesn't usually affect me ordinarily. But as soon as I eat that sort of shit on a date, my stomach's going to start going. My stomach's going to start going. So it's not worth it. Order something bland and you'll be fine. Yeah. I should have walked out like Ace Ventura. Whoa, do not go in there. Yeah. Bro, it was so funny, man, looking back on it. But yeah, I was really I'll be honest. I wasn't really, I was kind of scraping the barrel with that bird at the time. I'm not going to lie. Well, usually I wouldn't like a BG, but it was like one of those moments where, like, if you don't, so like I thought it was going to go on to the next thing, and it pretty much was guaranteed to. But I felt like if I didn't go for a shit, I'm not going to perform. I'm really not going to perform because I'm going to be trying so hard to hold it in and not to fart as well, where I wouldn't do a good job and I wouldn't enjoy it. So I thought, fuck it, we'll try and shit, and it didn't work out. It didn't work out. That is the worst. Yeah, I try. I don't shit at like a woman's house. Like 9 times out of 10, 19 times out of 20, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Yeah, Thai food can get to you. Again, though, I love Thai food. Thai food's amazing. No. So I cleaned the spillage up, but like when you've like wiped like water off a shiny surface, it still kind of shows a little bit. I guess she saw that and she obviously found the towel behind the cabinet as well. So yeah. I was honest with her after. I said, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I had a bad stomach. Bloody, bloody, blah." But yeah, I kind of fucked it. It's a great shout, actually. I used to be blatant with shits, farts, and burps, and then finesse it with the bird saying how it's because I felt comfortable around her. That line worked like a treat all the time. That's a great shout. That's a great shout. I do burp like if I'm with a bird. I don't try and hold in burps, to be honest. But farts I do, and obviously number twos I do. But yeah, good old days. The good old days. When literally all my concern was in life was pretty much to get my end away. Didn't really have any worries. This was around the time I was at college. And yeah, I had no other concerns in life apart from trying to get some and have a good time basically. And then things change. Then you become an adult. Then you become a rat in the race, so to speak. So enjoy your youth, guys. If you're young here, enjoy it. Don't stay inside and play computer games and listen to idiots like me. Get out there and enjoy yourselves, man. Definitely go out there and enjoy yourselves because you only have that time once. Once you're in the workforce and once you have your responsibilities, which only add up as you get older, you'll look back and say, "Did I waste those years, or did I have fun?" So try to have fun when you're that age, when you're in your late teens, even early 20s. Have fun. Bro, you know it, Max. You know it. I'm a gentleman. Yeah, me too, man. 2012 was I feel like 2012 was the last normal year. I felt like 2012 was the last normal year. I don't really remember 2013 that well. I don't know why. I felt like 2013 for me was pretty uneventful. Yeah, we had a few fit like PE teachers in upper school, and a couple of fit teachers here and there. But yeah, I was never propositioned by by teachers at school, unfortunately. 2011, yeah, 2010, 2011, 2012 were good years. 100%, yeah. Because that's when you learn a lot of lessons in those years anyway. You certainly learn a lot of lessons. Because the worst thing you can do, I think, a lot of young men are I think a lot of, but we was talking about this earlier. There's so many pitfalls now for young men when it comes to dating, and I think a lot of guys are kind of scared, and it's probably knocked their confidence. But they have to just get out there. Ultimately, be a gentleman. Don't be a creep and whatnot. Be a gentleman. Be respectful. If you get rejected, leave it at that and try again. Because the longer you leave that sort of stuff, the worse you're going to be at it. You know, you really need to get yourself out there. And yeah, try to enjoy yourselves. Sometimes you'll surprise yourself as well. Because we're all unsure of ourselves at that age. Very unsure of ourselves. I certainly was. %, yeah, don't never be a cuck also. Shoot your shot. If she says no, move on. Exactly. Plenty of fish in the sea. Yeah, listen, JD. Listen, as long as you're happy with it, truly, then that's all great. That's all bueno. That's great. But as long as you're happy with it, that's the main thing. Like some people are more introverted. I'm pretty introverted in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, most dating apps are trash, honestly. I go on them now and again, but they're pretty shitty, to be honest. They're pretty shitty. Yeah, they feel like the formative years for the adult you'll become, yeah, 100%. And it's better to try and get as many experiences in as you can, good, bad, or indifferent, because you learn from them. You may get some stories to tell as well as you get older. I feel like a lot of young men are missing out on that kind of golden age. It's almost like the golden age of being a man, isn't it? So in some respects, it is. It's not. It's not totally, but try and have fun. That's all I'd say. Like, try and genuinely have fun. Don't let like confidence like get you down or things like that. Just put yourself out there and see what happens. Because ultimately, in the long run, you'll regret it a lot more if you didn't try. Getting rejected sucks, but the more you do it, the less it hurts. But one thing you can't get rid of is regret. And in the long run, that'll eat you up more. That'll eat you up a lot more than getting rejected by a woman. You know, that rejection hurts at first when you haven't been there. It becomes less and less as it happens more often. Because listen, if you ask for dates or whatever, ask for numbers, whatever it may be, girls are going to reject you. That's the reality of the situation. But again, if you get to a certain point and you realize that you never tried, you can't take that regret back. And that's a lot worse than the feeling of being rejected, I'd imagine. So that's how I see it anyway. That's how I see it. Could be wrong, who knows? But that's how I see it. Yeah. I guess it's different for most men though, isn't it? Like it's different for a lot of guys, but yeah, work on yourself, yeah. 100%. I've noticed though, from 25 onwards, that life changes massively. Yeah, 100%. It kind of changes every year though. Like, yeah, too many desperados on those apps, mostly used for hookups and not dating. Yeah, and there's a lot of bots. There's a lot of like, yeah, probably the best way to be BG London. To be honest with you, probably the best way to be. But yeah, it's a good shout as well. Feel like we age better as men. Yeah, always take your shot, 100%. This is I 100% agree with this. I'm not one of those people who say you can't be friends with a woman. You clearly can, but if you're going into a situation with dating in mind, and she says she just wants to be friends, yeah, you should end that. You shouldn't entertain it. You should not entertain it at all. In my experience. Because when we're young, I think we all make that mistake once. But yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. Yeah, bro, most you have to pay for. You can still use free versions, but they're not as good. But you can still get something going. You can still get something going. But yeah, overall, they are a waste of fucking time. Overall, most of the luck I've had primarily has been IRL. And it's just more rewarding as well. It's more rewarding doing it IRL in the wild than it is to do it on a dating site. I guess it's like, this is a really bad comparison, but I'm going to make it. I guess it's like hunting, right? Where like if you hunt, you kill an animal, then you cook it and eat it. You get a lot more out of it. There's a lot more satisfaction. But if you buy it from a shop, yeah, it's still food, but it's not as rewarding. You've put more work in doing the hunting. This is a really bad fucking comparison, and I realize how bad it sounds. But yeah, it's like dating sites and doing it in the wild, doing it in real life. Feels like there's a lot more work that goes into doing it in real life. It feels like it's actually you just being yourself, and if it works, it works. Yeah, there's that as well. Yeah, there is this as well, cop end. Yeah. Yeah, some women prefer older guys. Yeah. That's one thing I have noticed. I feel like as I've got a bit older, I feel like I get more attention than I would like. So what I mean is I get more attention in the fact that they initiate it more so than when I was like 20, 21, 18, 19, 20, 21. I feel like now I get more attention that I didn't expect kind of thing, if that makes sense. It's like hunting. Yeah, but that's my point. It's like if you hunt for a meal compared to like buying it from a shop, you're going to feel more rewarded like hunting the meal, right? Same with dating. If you like arrange something online compared to doing it IRL, it's more rewarding doing it IRL. That's the comparison I'm trying to make. Yeah, 100% Al. Yeah, 100%. So genuinely, like an 8 out of 10 guy who's like objectively like an 8 out of 10 maybe, he might get one like a day on like a Tinder. Whereas a woman who maybe is like a 5 out of 10 with a half okay body, she's going to get like tens of likes a day kind of thing. There's this as well. This I definitely value this a lot more than I did when I was a younger man. Good conversation is hard to come by. Good conversation is very hard to come by. And that in itself is a very, very attractive trait. Somebody that you can have a multitude of different conversations with about different topics. Yeah, 100%. Thing is, maybe not even necessarily confidence. I just think you're more sure of yourself, kind of thing. You're kind of in tune of who you are at that point in time. Yeah, there's this weird thing as well, where like when you're in a relationship, I feel like then you get a lot of attention as well. From my experience, it's like fuck. Hot woman with a good brain's a unicorn. Yeah, I need to go to like Poland or somewhere to find that. Go to the old go to the Soviet bloc areas. Oh yeah, there's still loads I never took the shot with that I should have really tried. 100%. But yeah, you live and you learn, don't you? You live and you learn. But anyway, guys, I need to wrap this one up. We've been going for just over 2 hours. Just over 2 hours. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Hopefully, you guys have a wonderful weekend. I'll try and get a couple of videos uploaded over Saturday and Sunday with the virtual Ortiz fight and whatnot. Maybe even a stream on Saturday. I don't know. I think Nordic's probably going to be streaming on Saturday, so no, I won't. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here. Have a great weekend, guys. Peace out. Catch you on the next one. Peace.